because I was a painter first, right? I wasn't a businessman. So I became really good at it. And then when it came to becoming a businessman and now, hiring more than one painter, I went from being me, the painter, and a helper to 15 guys in less than a year. So that was a huge challenge.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show, Grow to Scale Your Business. And today I have with us Nico. Nico owns a painting company out of California, and I've known him for several years. And it's fascinating the journey that he took and he's been through from the day I met him until today, and how successful he became in what he does. Hi, Nico. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Marina. Thank you for having me.
I love talking to you every single time that I meet you because every time there is an update. Something new is happening, you're growing, you're scaling, and you're evolving your skills, your technology, and your processes, how you do your business and how you manage your people. So, can you share a little bit of a significant challenge you faced in running your painting company and how you overcame it?
Yes, I'll try to pick one, but I have had several challenges. But one of them has been when, because I was a painter first, right? I wasn't a businessman. So I became really good at it. And then when it came to becoming a businessman and now, hiring more than one painter, I went from being me, the painter, and a helper to 15 guys in less than a year. So that was a huge challenge to find quality people and maintain the quality of the services that I have my customers accustomed to, just because of the pure fact of the fast growth. So that was one of the biggest challenges, maintaining the quality that my customers were accustomed to.
And how did you solve the problem? How did you overcome it? Because this kind of skill, usually, like you say, it's very difficult to find the right people and train them and make sure that they're actually doing their job. So how did
Yes.
you overcome it?
So the training part is it's actually the easier part per se, because the skills of painting, if you're a fast learner, you can pick them up in 6 months and you can be a proficient painter in 6 months. But what I have learned throughout my coaches is that we need to hire on soft skills, not on hard skills. So meaning having the right mentality of them wanting to grow, and also having integrity, honesty. And so all the soft skills that make a person a great person is what that was my biggest discovery, that's what I needed to focus on. So right when I got to 15 guys and I realized that my quality was being diluted and I was getting nothing but complaints from my clients, I quickly, scaled back and I only kept the best five. And then from there on, I started applying those lessons that I learned, again, hiring on soft skills, and I can teach them, I can coach them on how to paint, and they can learn quickly if they have the right fundamentals, the core values in place, which those you cannot teach them. Those are taught at home.
Yeah, especially being reliable and be honest and be trustworthy, right? Because you're not
Yes.
there to hover over them and make sure that they're doing what they're saying they're doing.
Exactly. So again, that the painting skill, that's something that I can teach him, and I can coach him on it, and I can, hit him hard often, with this is what we need to do, this is what it needs to be done, this is how it's done correctly. But I can't be with every single crew member, the full 8 hours of the workday. So I learned that, they I can teach them and they'll do it correctly while I'm there. But the moment I leave, they default back to their own standards.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to hire. I learned that I needed to hire on soft skills. So people that will do the right thing even when you're not looking.
That's right. The people are measured, their character is measured what they do when you're not looking. when
exactly.
nobody's looking. That's how they're measured.
Yes. So that was my biggest lesson that I learned in growing a business, scaling a business.
So we had interesting conversations when you were just starting about how do I make sure, or how do I able to not be there and still make sure that they're doing the right quality of work, and I have proof for the customers that we've done the work and there is no discrepancy between whether or not it was done. And we were talking about technology. So are there any industry trends or technological advancements that have impacted your business, and how have you adapted?
One technology, sector that we really like is photos and videos. And so for that, we found a great app that is working wonders for us. It's called Company Cam.
Oh, I love that app.
Yeah, Company Cam has been a game changer for us. Because before, we asked them to send pictures. We had a dedicated phone at the office, and we kind of went through there, but we didn't know exactly where they were from. So Company Cam allows you to create projects, and then they'll go and open the app and choose the project, and then they can upload the photos, and they'll be there available for every team member that has access to the app, to either use them for marketing or for anything, for even as a proof that we have completed the job. I remember there was one job where we did it, prior to Company Cam, and then my guys, finish it and wrap up everything, and then when I send the invoice, the client was like, "Okay, where's the pictures? Like, I'm not physically there. This was a rental property." She's like, "Where's I can't send you the check until I see proof that you finished." And that's when it hit me, like, oh, we gotta find something that we can get used to using and taking before and afters, and pictures proving that we have completed the project. So for that, I actually had to drive. The job was an hour and a half away from my office. I had to drive specifically just to take a few photos and send to the client. So when we found Company Cam and we saw his pictures, we loved it, and it's been great for us.
That's amazing. I love technology when it provides a good solution for a problem. And one of the things, Company Cam is just one app. There are several other apps that provide similar features, but it gives you geolocation. It also gives you a time and date stamp
Correct.
per project. So once the picture is being captured, the employee or the painter, or if it's a other type of contractor, it doesn't matter, they cannot fake the geolocation. So if they took a picture of another house and they try to sell it to the owner as if they completed the job, it can show the GPS location where the picture was taken, and then they can compare whether or not it's the right project and the right location or not, because the owner or the team manager, the whoever is managing those jobs, the operational manager, they don't necessarily know how the house looks like. They didn't necessarily visit that house.
Yeah.
So they don't know if, pardon my French, the painter is bullshitting them or not.
Right. Right.
So the only way to do it is the GPS.
Exactly, and quite honest that the construction industry and the painting industry is very distrusted because of a lot of dishonest people, and so that's another battle that I have been facing, like gaining trust from people. And so the best way that I've been doing that is by building long-term relationship. Like I always tell the client when we first meet the prospect, like, this is what I do for a living. This is our business. We don't, this is what helps us, put bread on our table. So we take this serious, and then we have all the Google reviews, the Yelp reviews, and all the stuff to see. And then if you also want reference, feel free to ask, and we'll provide you reference. That way you can talk to real people, approximately, very similar project that we did. Because if we're doing it next year, I'm not going to send them reference of someone who like painted a bathroom. It's not relatable. So I always send reference that are relatable projects that are very equally, compared in challenges and in features.
Yeah. I always tell business owners, empower your team, trust your team, but verify.
Correct.
Trust and verify.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all the work itself. You don't have to be a micromanager, but certain jobs like construction, you said it's lower trust barrier for employees. So you need to be more on point and more in control of the quality of work because that's your face.
Yep.
It takes years to build your reputation and it takes 5 seconds to ruin it. As
True.
long as it takes to take a picture.
So
Like,
true.
ruined.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you manage the financial aspect of the business from pricing to managing costs?
We use a QuickBooks, primarily QuickBooks Online, and also we keep an internal spreadsheet of job costs. Like for every job, we create a spreadsheet, and then we, obviously have a total hours that we are going to be, that we estimated, and then we keep track of those hours. How many hours we burn at that job. What would the actual cost of the hour? So we have a cost per hour, including workers' comp, vehicle insurances, all the operating expenses, plus the employees' wages. And so that's how we keep the cost, and we can determine whether we can stay at that price range or we need to increase, or we can, we have a little room to negotiate and compete with other painters.
Do you have the unit level economics ironed out?
Not 100%. It's something new to me that I've been, like, with Adam Coffee, we've been learning that in the last couple months, and so I'm trying to work on that. But that spreadsheet is basically going to give me that exactly, how much is it that each painter, each truck is costing, so that I can then be able to multiply and make it a scalable business truly.
So quick question, how do you manage your teams? Do you have an operational managers or a project manager that manages the teams, or do you do it yourself?
So basically, right now I'm still the salesperson and the scheduler, but I have a project manager that is managing the people directly. Like I'll tell my manager, like, this team is going to this job such date, and then he makes sure that that job gets executed, that the people show up on time, that the people complete the job, and then he'll send me a report at the end of the job.
That's great. Do you have standard operating procedures that you can disconnect yourself, go on vacation, and somebody will take care of it?
Yeah, I don't know if I would go on vacation, just for the pure fact of the entrepreneurial spirit that I always want to be involved in the business. Like whenever I'm not working, I feel like I'm just wasting myself. And so from time to time I do go to vacations, but it's rarely. But yes, we have standard operating procedures in writing, and every vehicle has a folder with laminated sheets of paper explaining from step 1, step 2, step 3 for every process, for say painting kitchen cabinets, for painting interior walls, interior ceilings, and we have a sheet for every single one of them. And like I say, has all the steps from number 1 through number 10, or whatever steps are necessary to complete the task.
You're speaking my love language, step by step process.
Yeah.
In laminated folder to give to the person, like stupid simple. This is the instructions, just read 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but so what that is giving us, and is gonna get even better as people become more used to using those procedures, is gonna give us consistency, because without it, you're relying on the pure talent of the painter or the employee. And with when you have steps that you gotta follow, it's easy to keep that consistency, which is what the customer loves. Having that consistency, knowing what to expect from such company, is what gives you reassurance that you are the right company for them.
Yeah. So where do you see your company in the next 5 years? And are you planning on expansion, diversification, or selling the company?
Out of those three, I think it would be potentially preparing the company for sale. And so it's not necessarily meaning that I'm going to sell it in 3 years or in 5 years, but I have learned from Modern Coffee that if you structure it as if you're going to sell it, that's the right way to structure a company. And so that's why I'm leaning towards that instead of, you know, the first idea that I had when I wanted to scale the company, just hire more people. And that would put me in a spot where I need to sell more jobs to keep those people busy. So kind of trick myself into just having more people available so that I can sell more jobs. That didn't work out very well. So now I'm working on fine-tuning the unit level economics and structuring the company correctly so that is sellable. And whether I sell it or not, then that would be determined at that point when we reach that level of effectiveness that the company can be scalable, can be replicable, that, you know, whatever process that each painter is doing.
So imagine that you're talking to to a new company owner that is just starting. What tip would, or 3 tips would you give them that you wish you knew when you just started yourself?
I think number one would be starting with the end in mind. Like start thinking as if, you know, what is going to be the exit, what is going to be the end to this company. Like, what am I going to do with it once I build it? Because again, that forces you to create the unit level economics and understand the numbers and what is it that you need to charge in order to make the company profitable, and just understand the smallest pieces that, you know, like Adam Coffey says all the time. I keep referring to him because we recently attended his classes on growing and scaling businesses, and so we need to understand exactly what is the cost per vehicle, what is the cost for insurance, what is the cost per guy, how many guys we need, what kind of equipment we need. And then after that, then we can say, you know what, this is how much we need to charge in order to generate this percentage of revenue. So that would be my number one recommendation. Start with the end in mind. And then the second one would be like educating yourself, just understanding businesses, because, you know, really what we need to learn as business owners is learn business, not necessarily the trade or the physical work that we're going to be doing. For that, we hire professionals and we can make it. There's you know, successful business owners, a lot of times they don't know anything about the service that they're delivering. And so for me, I kind of feel like that kind of plays against me, because it's so I often fall into the temptation of wanting to paint myself still, because I know how, and to me it seems as easy as breathing. But I gotta hold myself back and say, no, I'm not a painter anymore. I'm a business owner, and I need to do things that a business owner needs to be doing, you know, such as building relationships, you know, talking to new prospects, you know, coming up with marketing ideas, and all that stuff that is needed to run a business, you know, efficiently.
I love that you said it, because the fact that you sometimes catch yourself wanting to do the painting versus managing the business, and you have to snap yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest issues with business owners and entrepreneurs is that they started the business, they grew it, but they still working in the business versus working on the business. So they find themselves working 60, 80 hours a week, staying away from the family, from the events, from traveling.
Yeah.
And when I jump into that company and I'm trying to talk to the owner, they're so fixed, their mindset is so fixed on, I can't talk to you right now because I need to work. I need to work. I need to do the job. I was like, no, dude, you need to pay attention to me and let your team do the work.
Yeah.
Because I will help you free your time. I will help you step away from that need of, I need to do the work. But when you need to do the work,
right,
to get to that point that you can release the work.
exactly.
I hope it makes sense when I say it.
Yeah, no, and it's again, it's like the biggest trap that you can trap yourself into, because once it seems like you make a lot more money by you doing the job. For an instance, if you, just to give you an example, if I charge $100 an hour, right, and I go and work, I keep $100 an hour. But if I hire someone who I'm paying 40, now it's down to 60, and I look at it like I'm giving money away. And that's how most small business owners look at it. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna pay, you know, this guy $40 when I can do it and I can keep the whole money, the whole amount. But then you stay small, and that's what really got me into thinking in a different way, because I realized that, as we grow older, it becomes more difficult to climb on ladders and get on top of houses to paint them. And I go like, well, when I get to that age, I'm still gonna need to eat, and I still gonna need a roof over my head. And yes, I'm making decent money right now, but what is gonna happen when that time comes? Like, I need to start, learning something else that I can do without having the physical strength that I have right now. And that is learning businesses, learning how to run a business. But I guarantee you, it's been kicking my butt. Like, it's been one of the biggest challenges that I ever taken in my life, like learning how to be a business person. Learning how to paint, it was easy. I got that jolted down real easy. And like I said, it became as easy as breathing. And learning how to operate a business, learning how to be a business person, is a whole different animal. It's just so many aspects to it.
And I personally love to see your journey. So from I'm the painter till today, where you're actually releasing that control, I love seeing the progress, and it's amazing. And you're amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna put your contact details in the comments below, so people can reach out to you if you're in California. Which area in California?
The Bay Area. So we serve the cities of Palo Alto, Atherton, Menlo Park, Mountain View, Portola Valley, Los Altos Hills. That's our primary area of service.
So do we need to hook you up with Mark Zuckerberg? Palo Alto and stuff?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
In
painting.
Google, we need to hook you up. So if you know Mark Zuckerberg, like Facebook, introduce them with Nico, okay? Introduce him with Nico.
Yeah.
He needs to paint. He needs new coat of paint.
Right. Everybody needs a painter. Like, that's the best way to protect and preserve and beautify your home, hiring a painter.
It's funny because I was preparing for the interview with you, and I'm walking in my house and I see, oh, this needs new paint. Oh, this needs new paint. What's so far away?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nico. It was a pleasure, and it was an amazing chat. Listen to the process and the train of thought that Nico is presenting, because that's how you grow and scale. If you don't learn new tricks, new ways to do something in your business, you're gonna get stuck until you're 80 trying to generate your own income versus growing and scaling and having somebody else working for you.
Right. And quick story. Like, I always keep an eye on other people, right? And when I go to say a job site or something, and I see this person, in their 60s or even 70s and still working in the business, and they seem miserable because they've been there for their entire life, and they don't want to be there anymore. But at that point, they don't have much choices. They got to stay there because they're still depending on the income that they're producing. And then I see that and I go like, that's not what I want. I definitely want to create a different route, a different source, and a different skill that I can do and not be miserable on the job.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I see it around as well in my area, where they're 70-year-old or late 60s, and they're still carrying concrete bags that weigh 50 pounds, or they mix that concrete by hand, or if they have the machine, they need to and he's all patched up, and he has knee protectors and elbow protectors, and his back, he has the belt for the weight. And I was like, oh my God, you're 70 years old.
Yeah.
How do you wake up in the morning? Like, if I had to pick it up, I would not be able to get out of bed.
Well, at that point, they don't, like I said, they have very little choices.
They don't have choice.
Yeah, because they haven't developed another skill that they can exercise without the physical strength. So they have to just keep going until their body just gives up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Such great lessons. Thank you so much, Nico.
Thank you for having me.
I'll meet you soon, physically, in person.
Definitely be running into each other. Yeah.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.